as one would think if you just saw the score and didn't watch the game, the Lakers turned it on more in the fourth quarter and outscored Brooklyn 31-15, ultimately created enough distance to win comfortably. But it was not a game that they played particularly well for most of it. They really took their foot off the gas early on and then allowed not just Brooklyn to get back into it, but I think there were times Brooklyn was actually controlling the game. The Lakers just had a difficult time with Brooklyn's athleticism and their speed and just the way they were pushing pace constantly. The Lakers they're now back in town. They've had a day off from that the last game of the 6-game road trip in Indiana against the Pacers. But as J.J. Redick before the game and Rui Hachimura in the ESPN LA 710 walk-off interview noted, it is very difficult playing your first game on a first home game after a long road trip, particularly when there's only been one game in between. And it did not feel like the Lakers were mentally engaged enough and really just dialed in, focused. What does it mean moving forward? To be perfectly honest, as much
want to sneeze. I already sneezed enough
I'll try
times
that.
today.
Yeah.
And you're a multiple sneezer, too.
I'm a
You're like
multi-sneezer.
five.
Especially if you're right on the verge of having a sneeze. You look at that and say,
You'll go?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Nothing worse than
If I
losing a
look at
sneeze. I hate
the light.
know it's going to be a good one. One of those.
How great is it when you're out there walking by yourself or whatever, and you can just, boom.
Oh, my God. I'm trying to make it echo from coast to coast. Yes.
Like a grizzly bear's loose in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. Back adjustment.
My sneezes sound like I'm doing karate. Like, it's like a hi-ya.
Well, you got that weird multiple thing going.
Afternoons with DeMarco and Travis starting at 3 p.m. on 710 ESPN. The all-new ESPN LA app. And live on YouTube.
It's time for your first chance to react to tonight's Lakers game.
It's time for the Lakers postgame show tonight.
This is the Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN. Call now to be part of the Lakers postgame show and react on the game.
Lakers Nets is a final from Crypto.com Arena. Game 74 of the NBA season is in the books from downtown LA.
Lakers basketball is a final.
877 710 ESPN.
This is the Lakers postgame show.
Tipping off now.
Here's Andy Kamenetsky.
Well, the Lakers got the win, and ultimately that is the most important thing for a team that is trying to maintain seeding in the Western Conference, trying to keep space ahead of the Denver Nuggets, who they already have the tiebreaker over, but things become dicey if Denver somehow passed them. So the most important thing is that they got the win, and it was a double-digit win, but it was not a double-digit win that necessarily I think Laker fans are going to be all that impressed, excited about. They spent a lot of this game in cruise control, and then I think actually struggling to keep up with the Brooklyn Nets who've won 17 games this season, but are very young, very athletic, very fast, and play with a lot of pace. And I think after a while, the Lakers actually were starting to struggle with it before eventually team the fourth, Austin Reeves points in the which came quarter. Luka continuing for 5 shooting in the arc. Times made something of throw line the in this game, but missed 13 for Magic in league this occasion.
That you played through your hamstring and got through this game, got through this whole road trip. How do you feel like you need to approach these next 2 days of rest?
It's definitely, we got two games in 2 days between finally. I think it's the first time we got 2 days between the games after All-Star. So definitely get a lot of ice, a lot of recovery.
Luca, obviously at this point, you guys are looking towards the playoffs, but how are you kind of approaching these last few games, and what is kind of your focus as you guys wind down the season?
We're not looking at playoffs at all. We're going game by game. The West is very tight, so we need to go game by game and focus on the playoffs when we get there.
And that was Luca Doncic, the player of the game, driven by your Southern California Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Luka obviously did not agree with the technical foul. So, what one of his phrases was, "What can I say?" Said that he thought, or he was told, the push was exaggerated. He said he didn't say anything to Zaire Williams. The two of them were going back and forth a lot in this game. And I understand what Luka is talking about in the sense that it was not anything that was out of control, or, the two of them were not squaring off. They were not nose to nose. They did not need to be separated. And between the two of them, Zaire Williams, in reacting to Luka giving that bit of a push, he hit Luka back, or I want to make it clear, not close fist hit, but his arm swinging back hit Luka harder than Luka pushed him. But I got to be honest, man. Like, Luka has to be smarter than that. Like, if he cares about avoiding this 16th, he might feel like, look, I have been getting aggravated and frustrated by a lack of calls. Like, the last few games, as much as I think Luka and, for this matter, LeBron and Austin have done a good job playing through what they clearly felt were missed calls. And, you know, there was a lot of physicality in the Detroit game, in the Orlando game, even in the Pacers game. There was a lot not being called on both sides. I think it was not being called equally. The refs were just letting both sides play. And that led to Luka, LeBron, and Austin all not getting some calls that they clearly, you could just tell by their body language, felt they should have gotten. And for a while, I think Luka was keeping his frustration pretty under wraps. He might have felt like, screw it, we play the Wizards on Monday. That's a game they should be able to win without me. I've carried these guys on many occasions throughout the season. They can carry one without me, and then I'll keep my mouth shut for the rest of the season. We'll see if he actually does that or not. But Luka can't claim to be the victim here, man. Like, he just can't. Like, you've had your 16th tee rescinded. And that was, if I had to guess, the league giving Luka a get-out-of-jail-free card. But there is, at minimum, an unspoken understanding of, this is your mulligan, man. Don't waste it. Like, don't waste the thing. We are, help us help you, to paraphrase Jerry Maguire. Help us help you. And I don't disagree with Luka that in the grand scheme of things, this was not much of a push. It was not much of a thing. But Luka's also put this target on his back. And if he feels targeted right now, it's because he's put himself in that position to be targeted. Like, this is a world and a bunch of constraints that Luka has created for himself. And he has spent a lot of this season and a lot of his career complaining a lot and yelling at the refs a lot. And to be clear, I think he has done a really good job over the last 3 to 4 weeks of keeping quiet. And I think it's actually brought out the best basketball Luka's played as a Laker, because he's had no choice but to just focus, not argue with the refs, get back on defense. Like, it's brought out a lot great in Luka, and it's brought out a lot great in this team. And I don't want to make this bigger than it is, where I don't acknowledge that he's done a good job with this stuff, but just, you can't think of it, at least in my opinion, you cannot think of him as a victim in this situation, because, again, it is a world that he has created for himself, and this is the bed that he made, and now he's got to lie in it. And I would be, I'm sure the Lakers are going to lobby the league to rescind it. I would be stunned if it was rescinded. There are, I think, only so many times your 16th will be rescinded. As I mentioned before, Austin Reeves had 26 points in this game, 15 in the fourth quarter, including this bucket here that really helped create some distance between the Lakers and Brooklyn.
Traore loses it, picked up by Rui, gives it to Luka. Luka to Austin, three-pointer. It's good. Timeout, Brooklyn. 5:01 remaining in the fourth. Lakers 103, Nets 94.
And that is the call of the game, presented to you by the Call Jacob Injury Hotline, the only number LA trusts after an accident, 800-345-6789, 800-345-6789. Incredibly easy to remember, which is important because if you've ever been in an accident, your brain is scrambled. It's hard to focus. They make it really, Jacob makes it really, really easy to remember. Austin Reeves finished with 26 points, 15 in the fourth quarter. The first three quarters, kind of slow for Austin and following a pattern where he's often gotten off to slow starts, but then finding ways to turn it on as the second half, and in particular the fourth quarter, rolls around. Here is what he had to say with Spectrum Sportsnet after the win.
So, Austin, JJ said that sometimes a game like this can almost feel like an extension of the road trip, still fatigued and everything. How did you guys push through it and just get to the fourth quarter and open the separation there?
Stuck with it. We didn't play the way we wanted to, obviously. But you're going to have games like that, and you just got to find ways to win them.
All of your threes, 4 of them came in the fourth quarter. When the jumper isn't there in the first 3, how do you kind of find it? And then once you find it, how do you stick with it?
Keep shooting it. That's really it.
Keep it pretty simple. Luka, another 40-point night. I know that he's been doing this very consistently, but what has that meant, just raising the floor for the team from an offensive standpoint?
Yeah, and he continues to drop in the MVP race, which is insane to me. So I guess it don't really matter. Maybe he's got to score 60. I don't know.
Where do you guys do as you move forward now? Not that many games left, Austin. You get a little rest, and then the back-to-back coming up on Monday and Tuesday. How do you kind of continue this momentum that you've been building up to this point?
Just continue playing the right way and, sticking to schemes, playing with effort, and, continuing to battle. Games that, we don't have our best, we stick, in the game because of the way we play and how hard we play. So we got to continue to do that and keep connecting.
All right, go get some rest.
Thank you.
Again, that was Austin Reeves after tonight's 116-99 win over the Nets. 877-710-ESPN if you want to weigh in. 877-710-ESPN. I see a few of you already holding. We will get to you next. This is the Lakers postgame show on ESPN LA 710.
Listening to Meditating with Jan from Toyota. Soften your focus and visualize yourself off-roading in a Tacoma. Now engage your senses. What do you hear? A donkey. Because you're driving the kids to a farm sanctuary in a Grand Highlander. Breathe in, breathe out, and go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends March 31st. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, it's Bethel Duran. Everyone loves the new 2026 Toyota Electric BZ XLE that has a range of over 300 miles. You can drive one away on a 36-month lease with any old free and clear trade down for only $239 a month. That's a $36,000 car that needs no gas. No cash required. Just drive any old car, truck, or van you own outright in the Wondrous Toyota or Northridge Toyota and drive out with a $239 lease payment.
2026 Toyota BZ XLE FWD. Offer good on any BZ model in stock with an MSRP under $36,650. Over 10 to choose from. Lease excludes tax, title, license, and dealer fees.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Every time I step outside, I think to myself, man, are we lucky to live in Southern California or what? No better way to celebrate the spring than hanging with some great friends and enjoying the tournament and the start of baseball and chilling with an icy cold Coors Light. So pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2026 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Your Lakers.
60 points for Luca Donuch.
Your season. Your home.
And some history for Luca Donuch as he becomes the first player since Kobe Bryant to score 60 points in a Lakers uniform.
Follow Luca Doncic, the Lakers, and every moment of the Lake Show.
Luca puts up an impossible 3, and it goes! Luca's got 58!
On the home of the purple and gold.
ESPN LA.
This is the Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line.
On 710 ESPN. Call now to be part of the Lakers postgame show and react on the game.
877-710 ESPN.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
Points in the Paint all season long, sponsored by Vista Paint. For nearly 70 years, Vista Paint has delivered on color coverage and service built for the hustle and bustle of California. Vista Paint, contractor trusted, always ready. The Lakers get a 116-99 win over the Brooklyn Nets. Not the prettiest win. You would look at that score if you didn't happened to catch tonight's game for whatever reason, and you just saw the score, you would feel like the Lakers likely dominated this thing from start to finish against a still 17-win Brooklyn Nets team that is missing a few key players on top of it. That was not the case at all. The Lakers got off to a quick start. They were up 12 points pretty fast, but then they not just took their foot off the gas, they like put the car in neutral and then put their feet up on the dashboard, and they were just content to roll around. And they got sloppy on both sides of the ball. They were turning the ball over. They really were not running any crisp offense, and defensively they were lacking awareness. They were not getting back. They were allowing different Nets players to get past them. And then I think they legitimately started having issues with Brooklyn's speed and athleticism, and they were just having trouble keeping up with a team that quick and fast, especially because they were so flat for so long. It took them, I think, a while to pick things back up. Or this observation that you can't help but wonder about from Jovan Buha, friend of Lakers Talk, certainly. He's been on my show, Lakers Talk, here on 710 ESPN multiple times, covers the Lakers for his podcast, Buha's Block. Good observation in the fourth quarter from Jovan, quote, "The Nets have not gone back to Zaire Williams, Nick Claxton, or Noah Clowney in the fourth quarter, despite this game still being close." Nets are a team that they're in the Tankathon sweepstakes, trying to get a Boozer or a DeBanza or a Peterson. I'm just
Well, according to Michael Thompson, there's no one coming out in this draft.
Well, Brooklyn will still take one of these nobodies.
Right?
They need as many shots at a young player as possible. I'm just saying Jovan might be onto something. The Lakers did pour it on more in the fourth quarter. Austin Reeves got things going, but between the way they played for a lot of this game and Luca Doncic's 16th technical, that this time I would be stunned if it was rescinded, there is not much that I think J.J. Redick, and we're going to hear from J.J. in this segment, is going to be necessarily that happy about from this game other than the final result. 877-710-ESPN if you want to call in. Let's begin with my dude Walrus in Encino. You're on the Lakers postgame show. What's up, Walrus?
Hey, what's up, AK? What's up, Funch? First, I just want to say shout out to Clinton Yates. If you're listening, see why you're the man.
Indeed.
Tonight was, it was a challenging game. I take a lot of credence in what Derek Fisher said, that, they're tired coming off of this road trip. So, I don't think that's the best excuse, but okay, so be it.
Well, it can be more of a really quick, Walrus. I'll let you finish. But sometimes it's more of just an explanation than an excuse.
Right. I think that's exactly right. So, yes, this is real quick. One thing, you're the stat man. You throw them all out there. Interesting, though, 46 of 26 in terms of the bench scoring between the Nets and the Lakers. So that's where a lot of that energy came from. But, look, man, they got the win. Also scored 50 in the fourth quarter. Just keep it rolling. You need to get racking wins at this point of the season, no matter what. Just got to get that win. And Luka, yeah, he's on a heater. Could have been a better time to get that technical. He's not going to get rescinded. Playing Washington at home, they need to get that win. Anyways, great show as always, guys. Have a great night. And as always, go Lake Show.
And as always, thank you, Walrus. And Walrus hits on the most important thing, which is they got the win. Like, this would have been an unforgivable loss. And, Brooklyn led at various points in this game. So the idea that, other than if you really read into what, like Jovan said, and perhaps Jordy Nelson, Jordy Nelson, Packers wide receiver.
I was going to say, why
back
was
in the day.
You think about your fantasy football team?
from what, like 2017?
Yeah, right.
But Jordy Fernandez perhaps ordered the code red and got the Nets to stop scoring so much, stop even attempting to defend. But they got this win, and that's what ultimately matters, because they're trying to keep this 3 seed. And Denver, they're keeping some distance, but Denver is close enough that they could make a move. And, yeah, they've got the tiebreaker over Denver, so it's not enough for Denver to tie the Lakers. They got to pass them by more than a game. But nonetheless, you want to make sure that, to me, what really matters is you want to make sure that you're keeping good habits. and that you're maintaining focus and that you're using games like the Nets and the Wizards on Monday as a lab of sorts where you keep building habits, you keep working on sets, you keep working on the synergy and the chemistry that's grown over the last few weeks, and particularly on this road trip with the Lakers. And, Walrus mentioned Fisher's, by the way, for those unaware, Derek Fisher filled in tonight on the TV call with Billy Mack because Stu Lance was not feeling well. Also, this is truly rare. Lawrence Tanner was not feeling well tonight, the Lakers' legendary PA voice for the game. So both Lawrence Tanner and Stu Lance were not present during this game. I asked Billy Mack during the game, do you think this has ever happened before where both Stu and Lawrence Tanner were not at the same game? He thinks this may be a first. Both of these guys have been involved calling games in different fashions for multiple decades. And I'll say this, at this point, I've been to quite literally hundreds of Laker games. This is the first time I ever recall Lawrence Tanner not being there. And, Stu, every now and then has had people fill in for him, but it's still pretty rare. This could really be, Funchy, the first time that both Stu and LT were not at a home game.
Also, don't forget Beto Duran's not at the home game, too.
Okay, it's definitely the first time that all three.
Yeah.
Definitely the first time that all three.
Bad things happen in threes.
Ooh. Well, with that being said, and I certainly hope it's not, best wishes to Stu and to Lawrence Tanner, both beyond being great at what they do. They're both really good guys, so I hope they are both feeling better. Very curious, actually. I want to hear how Fish sounded calling the game on TV. I imagine he was quite good at it. Chuck in Tarzana, you're on the Lakers postgame show.
Bill McDonald's the Lakers announcer. You didn't know that on TV?
I did know that.
Hello?
Yes. Chuck.
Did you go? You went to me. I was talking to my friend. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. What's up, Chuck?
Sorry. This is Chuck.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm over at the new Bev. Seeing True Romance.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes I call Beto from here.
Oh, so you're seeing one of the Friday midnight shows?
Yeah, Friday Tarantino
Nice.
Midnight. This was written by Tarantino.
Oh yeah, no, I love New Beverly. I've been there. I don't live. I'm not gonna give out my address, but I don't live too far from the New Beverly. I love that theater, and you're correct. Tarantino owns it, and he's involved with curating the slate of movies that are shown there. And Fridays are typically Tarantino films at midnight, so that's gonna be fun, Chuck.
Yeah, and I had Tacos 1986 down the street, which Beto likes too. So I do not have much to say about the game tonight because I told Beto that I'm never calling after a loss ever again, and this is practically like a loss the way they played tonight.
Well, I mean, I don't want to overstate it, Chuck. Like they did win the game, and the reason I would say it's not like a loss is because I don't walk away from this game feeling like the Lakers are worse, like something was actually revealed from this game. Like, other than, I guess, the idea that fast athletic teams could give them trouble, but we knew that anyway. Like, that's not a secret. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes you play up to your competition, and, obviously – Brooklyn is not a great team. They're near the bottom of the Eastern Conference. But honestly, the Lakers have to play much better than this. And I'm going to say something that you're here tonight, and Beto would strongly disagree with me. I really like Dalton Connect. And, Tennessee made the Elite Eight tonight. I went to the University of Tennessee.
Congrats.
I don't think the Lakers should give up on Dalton Connect.
Well, I appreciate the call, Chuck. Whether they truly give up on Connect or not, he's not going to be playing for the rest of the season, not in the playoffs. I mean, whether you believe in Dalton Connect or not, JJ has given Dalton Connect chances in the rotation, and he talked them up a lot despite a frankly brutal summer league. Like, Dalton was awful in the summer league, and JJ still gave him opportunities, and Dalton hasn't cashed in on him. I mean, there's just no way around it. But that, by the way, anybody listening right now, if you want to try to get over the New Beverly and check out True Romance at midnight, that would be a lot of fun. It's Quentin Tarantino's 63rd birthday today.
Happy birthday.
And again, he owns the New Beverly. Funchy, we were just talking about True Romance.
I know.
You have not seen it.
You know, it's so funny. I'm looking on ways to stream it or whatever. What platform can I watch it on? Can I watch it on Amazon? Or
I think it is on Prime.
It is, but I got to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it.
It's worth paying for.
Okay.
It's a fun movie. It's an early Tarantino script.
Yes.
It was a script.
Tony Scott wrote it, or Tony Scott directed it.
Tony Scott directed it. It's a great cast. It's Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Val Kilmer, Brad Pitt, James Gandolfini, Bronson Pinchot.
What?
Yes,
Surge.
He plays a coke dealer.
Oh God! You kidding me? Balky?
Yeah, Gary Oldman in a great role.
He's selling this movie for me, man.
Gary Oldman role. Samuel L. Jackson when he was still kind of coming up, very small role for Sam Jackson. Michael Rappaport in one of the only roles I've ever liked him in.
Oh man, I think I might be getting a pizza tomorrow and be watching this movie.
It's a fun movie.
I got a weekend off from the Lakers.
It is an early Tarantino script. Like, he sold this thing before he was Quentin Tarantino. Like, Reservoir Dogs was the only movie of his that had been made pre-True Romance. So he wasn't quite Quentin Tarantino yet. And you can tell that it is one of his earlier scripts, but it's a really fun movie. There's a lot of really great scenes. Slater and Arquette have awesome chemistry. It's a good soundtrack. It's a fun movie. I think you'll like it. We can talk about it. We can talk about next Lakers talk, what you think about it.
I will.
So see if you can get to it. JJ Redick, I doubt, was asked after the game his thoughts on True Romance, but he was asked his thoughts on this game. Here's what he had to say.
JJ, you kind of hinted at this in the pregame show, like what the challenge can be in a game like this. How did you feel like you weathered it and were able to pull away in the fourth?
Yeah, I felt like we were a step slow, and I told the guys at halftime, this is our seventh game of the road trip. Anytime you come back and there's a day in between, that's you're just in another city until you can get adjusted to the time zone and you get a couple days break. So, the next 2 days will be good for us. I think the biggest thing, honestly, because we were holding them to like 40 to 44% throughout the first half. We were just like a step slow to every 50-50 ball for most of the night. Got some in the fourth quarter. Our defense got progressively better throughout the game, and I thought a big part of that was DA and Jackson, their rim protection with 8 blocks tonight deterred some other ones. That was really good. And then, it's another game where, Lakers shoot a lot of free throws. That's how teams guard us. They foul on every possession, and that's another team that fouls on every possession. And so you have to factor that in. You're tired and cranky, and you got to play through stuff. And I thought our guys, they managed it, and then, we were from a field goal percentage standpoint, we were over 50% for nearly the whole game. We just didn't get a lot of threes up and didn't make a lot of threes, and then, we made 5 of our last 7, and that really opened things up for us.
What was your vantage point on the double tech that they called, and is that a process that you can appeal, like as you did the last one for Lucas Tech?
I'm sure we will appeal it. I'm not sure. I didn't see what happened.
The offensive rhythm that Luka's been in, what about it do you feel like is sustainable as the games matter even more down the stretch for playoff seeding and then the playoffs?
He's doing a great job of touching the paint right now for us, and that's been big. And not just for him to score, but also for him to collapse the defense. And I think that's when our offense is at its best when him and AR and LeBron in transition, when those guys can get in the paint.
Coach, Austin had 15 in the fourth, including I think 4 threes. How impactful was he tonight, late in that game?
Yeah, I think again that's the made threes really opened things up. I know he hit the one at the end to put us up 17, but the other ones, they gave us a cushion. And I just, it was a weird game for a lot of our guys because there wasn't a dead ball at the end of the first quarter. So AR had to play through his normal minutes, which then we had to take him out to start the second quarter, which we normally would have started him. So Jake's minutes got affected. We had to put Bronny in, even though he wasn't scheduled to be in, so that we had a ball handler on the court to start the second quarter. So then Vando's minutes got messed up, and then Luke's minutes got messed up. So maybe that had to do something with some of the crankiness. But, again, I think AR just being mentally tough and playing through everything that was happening in the game and just eventually found, his rhythm. And I think that started with getting to the free throw line. It started with touching the paint and scoring on some of those non-rim paint twos.
And that was J.J. Redick on the heels of tonight's 116-99 win over the Brooklyn Nets. Coming up, take more of your calls, 877-710-ESPN. We'll also hear from LeBron James. This is the Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It's Chris Morales for VisionWorks. And let's be honest, how many of us wasted our tax refunds on really dumb things in the past? This year, don't do it. Do what thousands of people in OC and LA are doing and invest wisely in your vision. VisionWorks accepts most vision insurance plans, and their professional staff will help everyone maximize their insurance benefits. And if you don't have insurance, don't worry. The experts at VisionWorks will find options that work within your price range. See the world clearly. It really is life-changing. Better vision, better value. VisionWorks just makes sense.
Meatless. Looking to cut back on meat? We gotcha. Introducing Shakey's Meatless Trio, a trifecta of scrumptious pizzas with all the flavor, but not all the meat. Choose from a medium garden veggie, 3 cheese, or garlic shrimp pizza. Your choice, $16.99. Or pick any 2 for just $29.99.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Made fresh daily.
Restore dinner time harmony. Get Shakey's Meatless Trio at your neighborhood Shakey's Pizza Parlor.
Call Jacob. Attention Lakers fans.
After an accident, you already have enough to deal with. Instead of chasing insurance and rental cars and doctor visits, you got to call Jacob.
Available all day, free consultations, and you don't pay unless you win. Official sponsor of your LA Lakers.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob. 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
This is the Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line.
On 710 ESPN. Call now to be part of the Lakers postgame show and react on the game.
877-710-ESPN.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
Fantasy Springs Resort Casino has leveled up with an all-new rewards club, giving you more of what you want. And it might be your lucky day because tonight, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino is giving you a 2-night stay plus dinner and golf or bowling for 2. Make any day your lucky day. Book now at FantasySpringsResort.com. The Lakers got a 116-99 win over the Brooklyn Nets. Not the prettiest win, not as dominating a win as the score would indicate if you didn't actually watch the game. The second and third quarter of this game was a lot of back and forth. Brooklyn had several leads in this game. The Lakers, after a very strong opening 5 minutes, were not particularly sharp on either side of the ball outside of, I guess, Luka's scoring. And as JJ noted in his postgame, and I do think it's worth mentioning, Jackson Hayes and DeAndre Ayton were both working really hard trying to protect the rim and trying to challenge a lot of shots. DeAndre Ayton finished the game with 9 points and 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. Jackson Hayes had 10 points, went to the line 10 times, only made 6 of them, but 10 points and 8 rebounds, 5 blocks. So the two of them, I would be remiss and probably should have mentioned it earlier. The two of them I actually thought were fairly active in this game, even during some of the lulls. They were not always as, I think, effective as they wanted to be or were trying to be, because the Lakers' defense around the perimeter got so scrambled. There's only so many places they can be at. Often when they were out challenging shots in the lane or around the rim, there wasn't a low man rotating, and if the loose ball got to a net, there was nobody there to put a body on him. So it was not the prettiest in terms of the effectiveness with those two guys, like as far as the effect on the team. But I thought the two of them actually were very active in this game, and JJ was right to single them out, and I should have, from the top, at least noted that the two of them I thought were probably the most two consistently active players on the team and effective in terms of both sides of the ball. LeBron James finished tonight with 14 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, and a steal. Here is what he had to say after tonight's win.
JJ, you kind of hinted at this in the pregame show.
Let me get LeBron. That's who we want to hear from. Here he is.
JJ kind of hinted before the game that sometimes the first game home from a long trip can almost feel like an extension, or like, yes, it's in your home gym, but how do you kind of push through fatigue as you've done throughout your career and just find it against a young team?
Listen, we got a game to win, and we had a game to play, so we give all the energy and effort that we had. I mean, it was a tough road trip for us in the sense of just the travel and the energy expended on that road trip, and JJ's right. I mean, he's been in this league. He played in this league for 15 years, I believe, so that first game back after a long road trip was always tough, no matter no matter what the competition, no matter what the record is. But we did a good job of settling down in the fourth, got some stops. AR, made some big shots, and was able to get the win.
Luka's been in some kind of offensive rhythm. How have you guys been able to kind of feed off what he's creating and then also just ride the wave of the scoring that he's able to put up?
We're just playing our game. I mean, obviously he's the head honcho when it comes to our offensive power, and then it goes to AR, and those two guys they attract so many eyes, so much energy. But he's just in an unbelievable rhythm right now, shooting the 3-ball exceptionally well, getting to the line as he always does, and just being super efficient. So we're all just playing off of him.
It's the first time in all the games that you and Bronny have played the last couple of years where it's an assist from father to son.
Yeah.
You walk us through that moment and the feeling of getting in the scorebook that way.
Well, I mean, I think not taking for granted, just being in the moment of us being on the floor once again. That's 2 games back to back, playing meaningful minutes, and and him also making another play. Obviously they was making a run in that second quarter, and they did make a run in that second quarter. But just for me, I just always make the right play. I got doubled, and he was able to make fake the pass to the corner and then knock down the 3. So definitely a cool moment, for us and also for our family.
We've seen his shooting in the G League really develop throughout the year, get to be a pretty consistent point. JJ hinted that as well. Like, we knew the athleticism, the defense was going to be there. How have you? I'm sure you've traced it pretty closely, but how have you seen his shot get to the point where he's so comfortable?
It's just getting back to where it was before the incident. He's always been able to shoot the ball. He's shot the ball at a high level, pretty much throughout his years of playing ball. So I just think just the confidence and the rhythm and just getting his strength back and his win and everything, everything is just coming back, like I said, before the incident. So it's not surprising, to see him shooting the ball at a high clip.
You guys are about to have multiple days in between games for the first time since, I think, mid-January, outside of the All-Star break, of course. Just how beneficial can that be, especially coming off of the long trip you guys
It's gigantic. We got to take full advantage of it for sure.
And that was LeBron James on the heels of tonight's 116-99 win over the Brooklyn Nets. Reminder, Luca Donuch, 41 points, 15 of 25 from the field, 5 of 10 from behind the arc, 6 of 6 at the line. It is, I believe, trying to find the exact note from the Lakers PR staff. It is, I believe, the 4th longest streak of 30-plus points It's now 12 straight games. He is tied with the logo, Jerry West. So even by Luka standards, dude is on a heater, but again, a reminder, he is in all likelihood going to be suspended for Monday's game against the Wizards with that 16th tech. Either way, that game can be heard right here on 710 ESPN. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 with Beto Duran. Tip-off at 7 p.m. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to everybody who called. Thanks to the kids in the back with the social media. Wilbur, Funchie. I'm Andy Kamenetsky. This is the Lakers postgame show, 710 ESPN.
Lakers Nets is the final from Crypto.com Arena. Game 74 of the NBA season is in the books from downtown.